Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. The Green Bay Packers are signing defensive tackle Javon Hargrave. This comes about 5 seconds after it was announced the Vikings are officially releasing Javon Hargrave. In fact, they released both of their defensive tackles, as was expected. Hilariously, where was this? This was, boy, I can get you like an exact timeline here because this all happened so quickly. Here, so it was Benjamin Solak. This was, how long ago was this? 2:53. It is now 4 o'clock. So it was an hour. The Vikings have released defensive tackle Javon Hargrave via Adam Schefter. Benjamin Solak immediately pops up and says Hargrave's best play came in Philadelphia under Jonathan Gannon, the current defensive coordinator of the Green Bay Packers, who are in desperate need of defensive tackle help. Now, Ross Uglum immediately says, yeah, well, he was bad, so whatever. Again, entirely not the point. The point is, schematically, he was at his best under a different scheme. This would have been with Philadelphia. Obviously, age comes into play here a little bit, but we'll have to see. This is a very unusual signing, as he is 33 years old. But just as a quick recap, when I was talking about the Vikings, and I'd never really brought up the idea of signing him, to my knowledge, I didn't. But what I had said about the Minnesota Vikings is that as far as their pass rush, they basically had none. On the entire interior of their defensive line, the only guy that provided any pass rush whatsoever is Javon Hargrave, who is likely going to be leaving. That's this guy. Now, he is not a run defender, which is still what we need right now, right? I mean, we need better defensive tackles across the board, and I'm very excited about Hargrave and Wyatt, but this is a Wyatt. This is a guy who has grades of 40 and 50 for run defense and 70 and 80 for pass rush. Now, I don't know if he's ever going to see the 80s or 90s again, given his age, but his 2 years with Gannon were his two best years, 63 pressures and 10 sacks, 66 pressures and 12 sacks. Those are the only 2 years he had double-digit sacks, and they were both with Gannon. Both of those years he had 91 and 92 pass rush grades. Now, he would have been 28 and 29 years old those years, but those also aren't the youngest. I mean, those were significantly better than it was when he was 27 and 26 and 25 and 24 and 23 with Pittsburgh. He took a immediate jump up when he went to Philly, massive jump up under Gannon, a slight step back in San Francisco, although still good. 2024, he got hurt, and then 2025, he goes to Minnesota. Now, the specific gripe about this with Ross Uglum was, yeah, well, Minnesota's got the best defensive coordinator or whatever, and he couldn't make it work. First of all, the idea that he is just this elite, perfect defense, give me a break. He's a talented defensive coordinator. We need to relax a little bit with this guy being some kind of a freaking super genius. This is like the same thing with their head coach, and now all this stuff is coming up about because Kyler Murray's probably going there. Oh man, the quarterback whisperer is quarterback whisperer? I thought we gave up on that after we realized that he's not actually a quarterback whisperer. He just had good quarterbacks with him. I mean, Kirk Cousins did not get better with him. Kirk Cousins was just Kirk Cousins. And then they went out and got what's-his-nuts, Darnold, and he was amazing. And it's like, wow, he is a quarterback whisperer. And then he goes somewhere else and he gets even better, and then they win, a Super Bowl. And then it's like, okay, let's see what he can do with J.J. McCarthy. And the answer is nothing. So, maybe let's relax on this quarterback wizard talk. But again, it's regardless of just being elite defensive court, it doesn't mean that everybody's just going to be better with you. It's a scheme fit situation. And again, he had nearly a 60 run defense grade and a 70 pass rush grade with a more than 10% pressure rate and 4 sacks with the Minnesota Vikings. And that's without any real elite help around him. You're going to have Wyatt and Van Ness and Micah Parsons on this defense. And also getting back to the question of, and we'll dig into this more, getting back to the question of, do you prioritize going after guys that your coordinators want, or do you focus on, sticking to the Packer way, at least in the initial stages to get a little jump start? Gannon, and this is a Gannon pickup, 100,000%. This is a guy Gannon loves. This is a guy that Gannon had great incredible success with. And I see zero reason why Brian Gutekunst would go out and get a 33-year-old defensive tackle. By the way, at 2 years, $23 million. So, don't know how much of that is real, obviously, but it's a decently sized investment in somebody that I have no doubt in my mind. If Hafley was still here, this is not happening. I mean, I obviously can't say that with 100% certainty, but I mean, give me a break. The reason everybody saw this coming isn't because of Gutekunst, it's because of Gannon. So I'm excited. Everyone else is kind of pissing and moaning about this supposed down year where he graded out better than any defensive tackle we've had in like 5 years. And the complete lack of ability to understand schematics when it comes to players. Well, these guys had down years. Yeah, bro, they had new coordinators, man. Either way, assuming health, I mean, we have upgraded our defensive tackle. I mean, the idea that he is going to be, even if he doesn't improve at all, he is probably our best defensive tackle. Let me put it that way. And I love Wyatt, but he is at least a Wyatt. And that's assuming there's no Gannon bounce back. If there is, then you're talking about a top 10 interior pass rusher, possibly top 5, along with clearly a top 5 edge rusher. And more than anything, and I'll end with this is classic GMing to the point where, again, you find these massive deficiencies where it's like, if we come out of the draft without addressing this, we're in serious trouble. They addressed the offensive line, maybe not in the way that we would want, but they addressed the offensive line, they addressed the cornerback position, they addressed the defensive tackle position. Now the draft will fall as it falls, and that's it. I know fans won't agree, but the reality is there is no we have to in the draft anymore. Really would like to? Yeah. Have to? Can't field a team without? No. All right. Well, stick around, stay tuned for more breaking news.